your game day program here. Who is it cold out here today?
I want to do one thing. I want to slap the fools brought this damn team up here. That's what I want to do.
It would be a cold day in hell when a team as talented as the 1993 New York Jets couldn't make the playoffs. Or at least, a cold day in Buffalo. It was a day and a season that gave a cruel twist to an old cliche. Whether the Jets would win or lose had nothing to do with how they played the game.
Looking right side, swings it out, caught by Johnson, 25-20, 15-10, Johnson at the 5, he's in, touchdown! Oh, what a play!
Time and again, the Jets outworked their opponent and out-hit their opponent. But in the end, their toughest opponents were themselves, and the Jets watched their playoff hopes blow away.
The kick on the way, the kick is up, so the kick is no good!
But rather than tear the team apart, the tough 1993 season brought the Jets closer together. And rather than be discouraged, the Jets are looking ahead to something more in '94.
We all feel there's a certain amount of emptiness associated with this season because we had every opportunity to win a lot of football games and we didn't. And so I think everybody probably left a little, with a little hole in their stomach saying, we have some unfinished business that we have to take care of.
On opening day 1993, Dennis Byrd walked back onto the field where he lay paralyzed not a year before. As a player, he will be missed, but his power as a man continues to inspire the Jets family. After Byrd's return, the most eagerly anticipated homecoming of the new season belonged to Boomer Esiason. And New York's homegrown hero made all of September a triumphant return, proving he could still make amazing things happen with a football. In Game 2 at Miami, Boomer threw for 323 yards on his way to becoming the AFC Offensive Player of the Month.
Pitch goes to Blair Thomas. He pitches back to Boomer, who throws deep down the middle for Mathis. It is a catch at the 24-yard line. Oh, what a play!
Esiason threw touchdown passes to number 84, Fred Baxter, and number 28, Pat Chafee. Boomer directed the Jets to a 24-14 victory and put himself back in the direction of the Pro Bowl.
Goal to go. Esiason back. Now quarterback keeper up the middle. He's in. Touchdown! Jet touchdown! And Esiason slams it to the earth.
In the first two games alone, Boomer and wide receiver Rob Moore, number 85, connected 15 times for 266 yards. Together, they are potentially among the league's most spectacular passing combinations. And by Game 3 against New England, the Jets were the league's most impressive offensive football team.
Esiason, cool and calm, picking up where he left off from the Miami game. Esiason back, now looks down the middle, throws down the middle, caught, touchdown, Thornton!
New acquisitions James Thornton and Johnny Johnson, number 39. Each scored his first touchdown as a Jet.
Here's the handoff to Johnny Johnson. Straight ahead, he plows, drives, he's over! Touchdown!
The onslaught continued with number 81, Terrence Mathis.
The handoff coming around the left side. Mathis, 20-yard line, 10-yard line, 5-yard line. He's in! Touchdown!
And now 5 touchdowns here
In 5 possessions of the ball.
Wow.
Nearly everyone was entertained by the Jets' offense. But on this night, the Jets' defense deserved equal billing.
Look, throws short, and it's intercepted by Lagerman. 30-yard line. He's at the 25-yard line, 20-yard line, and out of bounds goes Lagerman.
We have seen Pete Carroll use his defensive technique where he leaves one of the down linemen back in coverage. Bledsoe just threw it right to him. He was the receiver.
Defensive ends were making interceptions, and defensive backs like Marcus Turner were getting sacks. Sounds complicated, but Browning Nagel and Adrian Morrell made it look easy.
Nagel's first action of 1993. Handoff, nice handoff, goes to Morrell. 30-yard line, 25-yard line, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Adrian Morrell racing on the right side, takes it all the way. And Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles looking in tonight and wondering, uh-oh, what are we going to face next week here in the Meadowlands?
The Jets were the NFL's brightest young team. The question remained, how would they handle the spotlight?
Oh, it's going to be a fun day today, guys.
Leonard Marshall had been through it with the Eagles before and got the Jets off to another explosive start.
Get rid of this AFC and NFC bullshit today. Oh, man. Do I know him? I'm tired of hearing about him.
Veteran free agents Marshall and number 42 Ronnie Lott dismantled Randall Cunningham and the Eagles' offense, while Boomer plotted to pick apart their celebrated D.
Listen up here. You want to annihilate them? 19M. If they go over here to the slot, well, you see that? 19-0. You just go to 19.
And Boomer Esiason sent to pull away from Sweeney. The left-hander goes back, looks down the middle, fires, it is a catch, touchdown! Johnny Mitchell, touchdown New York Jets!
And that's the experience of Boomer Esiason. Saw the change in the defense, read it, bang. It may have been an audible, may not.
The Jets showed a killer instinct, finding a soft spot and pounding it with tight end Johnny Mitchell, who had 7 catches for 146 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And Boomer, play fake, he still has the ball, looking upfield, throws, wide open Mitchell, 50, 45, 40-yard line. Johnny Mitchell, 35-30, 25-20, 15-yard line, 10-yard line, to the right side, he is in, touchdown! Takes it all the way, Johnny Mitchell. Crowd goes wild.
It ain't no surprise either. It ain't no surprise. It ain't no surprise. It ain't no surprise. Hell yeah, it ain't no surprise.
The Jets led 21-0 and 28-14, but the celebration couldn't begin until they made the lead hold up till the final gun.
Here's Esiason throwing, it is intercepted again.
There would be no celebration.
40-yard line, 35-30, 25-20, he'll go all the way. Eric Allen with the interception.
96 yards.
Just when the Jets were ready to reach the top, they suffered a bizarre 3-game slide. It is the job of the head coach to provide a foundation, solid footing for his players when they slip up. The Jets' new head coach knows his players well and believes they can take the next step together.
We lacked the finishing punch. You know, we needed the final couple rounds to be in control, and it didn't happen that way. I'm hoping we'll create the feeling of finishing the game off, and it's very close, and we have the leadership and the experience to take us into those moments and excel, and I'm hoping that'll be a trademark for us.
Ronnie Lott, James Hasty, Brian Washington, and number 22 Eric Thomas embody the ball-hawking style that was Pete Carroll's trademark as defensive coordinator. And the Jets' last line of defense is often their first line of attack. While offenses aren't catching on, well-deserved postseason honors may be catching up with them, as Washington was named first-team All-NFL by Football Digest.
50-yard line being chased by Gunn, throws upfield, passes, intercepted by the Jets, and it's Brian Washington again. Washington up the far sideline, he's at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, 5 touchdowns.
Washington's 6 interceptions led the team, while Hasty and Thomas each added a pair. Ronnie Lott had 3 and forced a team-high 4 fumbles.
Cook in motion to the left, ball at the 25, blitzes on, here comes Lott. Lott makes the fumble, the ball is loose, scramble for it, and I believe the Jets have the ball. Jet ball.
But a great call by Pete Carroll.
You like it? Yeah. You guys like it?
Well, I basically believe football should be played with great aggressiveness and an attacking style and in a very physical manner. And that is the way that we've styled our defense, and I just believe we should extend this to all phases of our team, the offense and special teams.
Number 37, Anthony Pryor, Victor Green, Kurt Barber, Richie Anderson, Clifford Hicks, and Glenn Cadrez spearheaded the special teams. Even punter Louis Aguiar got into the ball-hawking frame of mind, the mentality that has helped the Jets to cause the most turnovers in the AFC over the past 3 seasons.
We gotta go again, dude. We gotta go again. Yeah, we gotta go again. We gotta get a turnover, man.
Number 57 linebacker Mo Lewis led the team in tackles and displayed skills against the run and the pass, earning him a spot on Dr. Z's All-Pro team. In the middle was Kyle Clifton. In his 10th year, still the heart and soul of the linebacking corps. In his footsteps was number 54, Marvin Jones, and on the weak side was Bobby Houston, number 55. In Game 7, the linebackers would enter the home of the greatest linebacker of all and get the '93 Jets back on track. In the Battle of the Meadowlands, it was the legendary Lawrence Taylor against a wounded Jets team that had fallen to 2-4. But this day would belong to the next great New York linebacker. As the Giants threatened at the Jets' 1-yard line, Marvin Jones took their powerful ground game head on.
Up to Tillman, fumbles the ball, fumble, it's loose, and I think the Jets have it.
Marvin Jones was right there.
Come on, Ryan Bruce, let's go now. Come on, baby, let's get some respect back. Come on, baby.
Jets trail 6-3, hand off to Baxter, straight ahead, he's over, touchdown Jets!
Brad Baxter scored the game's only touchdown, and the Jets dug in for another goal line stand. This time to finally pull one out in the final seconds.
Snap, he has it, looking, swings it out right side, caught by Megan, hit at the 12-yard line and hammered down. Big tackle made by Mo Lewis.
This is great. This is a very exciting ball game. I don't even know. Understatement, maybe?
The ball is at the 11-yard line, 4th and 11. Jets leading at 10-6 with 24 seconds to go.
It's right here. This is it.
Sims going back to pass. He drops way back, throws to the end zone. It is incomplete. Celebrating in the end zone because with 17 seconds remaining in the game, it's all over for the Giants. They don't have any more chances. The Jets go on the road and beat the Giants 10-6.
And I think we got stronger as the game went on, and I think that was what was really exciting to the players. I knew we were getting tougher on them as the game got later, and you know, it's been something we have to do, and we got it done, so we're ready to roll.
The next week, the Jets were rolling against the tide of history as Don Shula went for his NFL record 325th victory.
To be honest with you, I did not want to be part of NFL Films for Don Shula. And that was the biggest motivating tool that I had going into that game against Don Shula. Sorry, Don. Not against us, buddy.
More inspiration would come from safety Lonnie Young on his very first snap back from a career-threatening injury.
With the ball, Mitchell steps up. His arm is hit. The ball is intercepted by Young. Lonnie Young makes the interception, and he's down at the 40-yard line. And welcome back to the Jets, Lonnie Young.
Welcome back, Dave. Hey, Josh. Let's go. Let's go, man.
Can we teach you how to catch in rehab, too? Is that part of the rehab?
Yeah, I knew it. Thank God.
Oh, I'm proud of you, man.
Young earned the Jets Ed Block Award for courage and the Dennis Byrd Award as the most inspirational player. But courage was in no short supply.
That's right, that's right. Gonna be 500 per day. That's all I know. I gotta leave my body here.
Leonard Marshall made good on his word.
Mitchell gonna go down under the tackle of Leonard Marshall. Sack number 1, and he gets a standing ovation.
One more week for your celebration. One more week.
The Dolphins would have to keep their champagne on ice, and Chris Burkett iced the game for the Jets.
Pass on 3rd and 7 from the Dolphin 12. Throw to the end zone. Catch, touchdown, Burkett. He reached up and grabbed the ball over Oliver's head. Touchdown.
The Jets had climbed back to 500, and Siopeli Malamala and the offensive line kept them climbing the following week in Indianapolis. The Jets gained a season-high 458 yards of offense, 141 of them by Johnny Johnson.
Near side, Johnson finds a hole, 50, breaks away into the clear, 40-yard line, he might go. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Johnny Johnson! It's over. The Jets are going to win this one from the Hoosier Dome. A 57-yard touchdown scamper.
He's the best football player on our team. There's no question about that. He runs, he blocks, he tackles, he catches, he does about everything. The only thing he doesn't do is kick.
First time he stayed right when Singleton jumped outside, I had to go inside.
Johnson's willingness to do whatever it takes earned him his teammates' vote as the Jets' most valuable player. And the big plays of others often grew out of the little things he did.
He might not be a Barry Sanders in a lot of people's minds, or an Emmitt Smith, or a Thurman Thomas, but I can tell you one thing, none of those guys possess the receiving skills that he has. And he has a unique ability to get the extra yard after he's hit.
Although he started only 10 games, he was second in the AFC in yards from scrimmage, and was one of only 2 backs in the NFL to lead his team in receptions and in yards rushing. Johnson had a historic season, and if you get from him a whiff of glory from the Jets' past, it's more than just the uniform. To celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Jets' Super Bowl victory, Joe Namath and the '68 Jets were honored at halftime. Meanwhile, the '93 team donned the old uniforms and did the old guys proud.
Back to pass with 1:09 to go, first half. He lobs near side, caught by Johnson, in stride, 30, 20, 15.
Dave Cadigan and number 69 Jeff Criswell powered the ball control offense, showing the form that made the Jets the AFC season leaders in time of possession.
How many plays is this now? 18-play drive so far, and Boomer gets another first down.
First to go to the bottom, hand off to Baxter up the middle. He spins, he's in! Touchdown, Jets! Brad Baxter with the score, his 6th touchdown of the year.
4 straight wins, and the Jets rode the wave of success into New England. An ominous wind said, "Score while you can." And kicker Cary Blanchard gave the Jets a 6-0 lead, and when the skies opened up, the scoring shut down. The Jets offense tried to hold on to the ball, while the defense tried to hold on to its first shutout in 11 years.
Now looking upfield, pressure on, throw down the middle, wide open Timpson, fumble, and the Jets have recovered the ball.
Yes, Brian Washington recovered the hit by Lonnie Young, and with no timeouts left, this game should be over.
2 weeks later in Washington, it was Blanchard and the defense again. Jeff Lageman, the team's leading pass rusher, and Mo Lewis led the Jets to their 2nd shutout and their 3rd consecutive game without allowing a touchdown. But there was an ill wind in the air, still blowing from the previous week back home. The offensive line had one of their club record 8 games without a sack, as number 53 Jim Sweeney and Dwayne White, number 67, anchored the impenetrable pocket.
From the Jet 16, 3-3 time, Boomer back, he looks to his right, now throws to his right, caught by Burkhead, 25, 30, 35, 40, breaks away, far sidelines, breaks another tackle, 50, 45, 40, he could go all the way. One man to beat Buchanan, upends him inside the 10-yard line.
Let's give a little credit, or a lot of credit, to the offensive line.
Again, the Jets dominated the game, but again they failed to put their opponent away. Bad luck had taken hold again, and this time it wouldn't let go.
There's the snap, the spot, the kick on the way, and it's drilled straight through. The Colts celebrating on the field. Indianapolis takes the 9-6 lead with 1 second, and for the most part, folks, it's over.
The question isn't whether a football team will run into adversity, but how it handles the adversity that's bound to come.
Hey, all we do is keep our poise, keep our composure, baby. All right? Keep our poise, keep our composure.
I admire the guys that maintain a calm about themselves in the face of you know, the stress or the adversity of the moment. But I think there's a time to let your feelings show and be expressive and expect that your team will respond accordingly.
Cut on that guy, all right? Real aggressive. 88.
In his 4 years as the Jets' defensive coordinator, Pete Carroll has developed the instincts of a master motivator. And Carroll's standard of success will never be statistics until they find a way to measure heart.
It's very important to me that the guys that play with great effort, and they really give everything they have. And so that, if anything, I would hope that our team is an aggressive, attacking style, physical, and when you see us play, we're giving everything we have.
Maintain and sustain your block. Give it a little bit more. Give it just a tad more.
The men in the trenches provided supreme protection for Boomer, yielding an NFL-low 21 sacks. And run blocking from the likes of number 62 Roger Duffy and Cal Dixon will anchor new coordinator Ray Sherman's offense.
It's a crunch. They're running a crunch play.
Across the line, Greg Robinson was promoted from defensive line coach to defensive coordinator.
You'll find Mo, and it'll be right there.
His unit, Marvin Washington, Paul Fraze, Bill Pickell, Marshall, and Lagerman, played with courage until the season's bitter end. And with the addition of free agent lineman from Pittsburgh, number 66, Donald Evans, Robinson's crew will lead the way as the Jets try to fulfill their ultimate promise.
Now talk about it, let's be about it. We got a chance to be great. And tonight we can make the step to making us great. We got a chance to be really good.
This team has great character, and it has a wonderful attitude about playing and working, and they work very hard, and they're really committed. They're committed to trying to achieve what we want. And you know, we have to still ask them to stretch to greater heights and all, but they do have that in them. I hope to enhance the environment so that those kinds of leadership qualities that come out of our players will continue to be expressed and realized, because we have wonderful people on this team right now.
Let's go, guys. Let's go now. Let's go. Hey, yo, we got Jets on 3. We're going to play hard to do it. 1, 2, 3.
Here's Esiason moving to the left. Now throws back to the right. Tipped, and it's caught by Johnny Mitchell. 15-yard line, 10-yard line, 5-yard line, all the way, touchdown!
Now, this is a very, very young football team. People don't realize that. I really believe that our team is just maturing, and I know that 1 year in the system, 1 year playing together, we did pretty good things. The next year will really tell the tale of where we're at.
So the story of the 1993 New York Jets is really half a story. In 1994, they hope to write the happy ending, one the Jets and their fans will be proud to tell for years to come.